Hello, OFP Nation. It is Sunday, April 13th of 2025, and we are live to take a look at what the markets have in store for us for the week ahead. So welcome to all of you who are with us live right now, and for those of you who are joining on the replay, welcome to you guys as well. Let us know in the comments who's with us and where you're tuning in from so we could say hello. And Nick, are you with me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Beautiful, just beautiful. All right, guys.
Mhm.
As always, we have our watch list that we are going to go through. So we go through the most common pairs that traders want to know about, especially gold. We're always looking at gold as well. But if you have any exotic or pair that you trade that's different from what we might go over, you can always hold on to that until we finish the analysis and then let us know what you want us to look at and we'll take a look. And I think somebody is saying hello in the comments. Cincinnati. Is that Cincinnati, Ohio? Romar? Are you trying to say Cincinnati is in the house? Are you from Cincinnati? Nick, do you know what Cincinnati is?
Yeah, I know it's in Ohio.
Well, duh, because I just said that.
Oh, yes, but I know where Cincinnati is. I used to have a friend living there, but now like they're in Chicago, I think. Yeah.
Chicago, Chicago. Ah, I love it. Um, I'm surprised, because you're all the way in Africa. So, I didn't think you would know American geography. But Nick is always full of surprises, my friends. He surprises me all day, every day. All right.
Mhm.
Romar, it's lovely to have you from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm not too far. I'm in the Chicagoland area, so very nice to have you with us today. We are going to go ahead. We're going to dive into this analysis without further ado. Nick, take it away.
All right. Thank you very much, Rhea. So, dollar index. Dollar hasn't been looking so good ever since this tariff started. So it's been like breaking down new lows, and we are literally dropping hard to the bottom. So we reached this level of support and we went right through. Not really a sign of rejection whatsoever, but there's also this other level of support that I believe we are actually bouncing from. This is like from the daily. So, oopsie. It's not okay. There we go. So on the daily, yes, we had some rejection. So probably we might be bouncing from this level since there was a very good amount of rejection whatsoever. And yeah, we might actually be going up. The markets may actually be reversing now, like going to the upside. Nasdaq might actually start reversing. We'll be seeing that probably next week, but we're yet to see what really happens. So with the market actually reaching this level of support, what could this mean? Well, there isn't any exact sign right now where we can say, okay, the market is reversing right now up until this trend line, which is very slopey, like it's all the way straight. It's like almost a horizontal line, but I believe what may happen is we might go slightly up starting Monday. Maybe we come to this level over here. That's where I do anticipate us coming. We might come all the way to 101. Then when we touch 101, then maybe we can start coming down, 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 then making a new low. Then from there, probably we might have some reason to go to the upside. So that is what I anticipate on the dollar index. So that being spoken, let's actually look at euro dollar. Euro dollar has been skyrocketing. I actually thought when it was pulling back around this area that we might finally be going down, but unfortunately not. The market is also giving a horizontal type of line right here, and we haven't yet made any possible reason to go short just yet. So we might actually be making a new high. We're probably coming to 1.15 because like the volatility is off the chart right now with the volatility index. We are literally we touched 60, but right now I think we have actually come down. I don't know if we have the VIX here. Of course, yeah, we got the VIX right here. So we touched 60 last week. I don't know why it's not showing here, but I believe the 60 touch was somewhere here. And then we spiked all the way down, but I believe this should be like in the 40s range and not 36. So yeah, that's basically what the VIX is doing right now. Volatility seems to be calming down until we reach probably somewhere down these levels. Then probably we might actually be calming down completely with the volatility across all markets. Then let's look at pound dollar. Pound dollar made a shocking move. It went to the exact same level that we talked about when I said that this move, when once we reach the middle part of it, that's when we might actually probably be either reversing or coming all the way down. And we actually reversed right here, right on point. So it seems we're actually going to be making a new high as well here. And then probably from there, that's where maybe you might see a decline to the bottom side. But that all depends on the dollar index. It will be strong enough to hold all that. Then let's look at dollar Mexican. So dollar Mexican trend line has been broken, which is great. And that's all attributes to the weakness with the dollar index. But also crazy part, we reached this level of resistance, and that's where we ultimately reversed from. So this is a very strong and great sign from dollar Mexican that we might be going to the downside. We had to pull back into this area, support becoming resistance, then we seem to be coming all the way down. Once we make a new low, that's where I do think we're coming to next week. And then probably we might actually be touching 19 on dollar Mexican. But let's actually look at the calendar for this coming week. So this coming week on Tuesday, we have Canadian CPI and the Plymouth count change with the pound, which isn't so much important. But on Wednesday, we also have pound CPI, followed with Canadian interest rate and more Canadian press stuff. Then on Thursday, we have CPI, all the related news, and dollar unemployment claims. And then we just have Fed Powell speaking and unemployment claims. That's all we have for the dollar. So I really don't think next week is a play for the dollar, but rather for pound and euro and also the Canadian dollar. So that being said, let's actually look at CAD Swiss. What is in it for CAD Swiss? Well, there are too many lines for CAD Swiss, right? And too many levels as well. So let's actually look at the daily chart. We see what is going on here. So yeah, we have literally broken right through. So this consolidation seems to have been forming up to come down, which we finally have done. So would this mean Canadian dollar might be strengthening next week? Probably, probably not. But Yeah, maybe we might be strengthening because new lows have been created and a good trend line is already forming right here. So, come next week, I do think maybe we might actually be making new highs, especially with the fact that Canadian interest rate is at hand, also other Canadian news. So we might actually be seeing ourselves break right through on 6,100 on Canadian dollar. So for Canadian dollar next week, I see ourselves coming all the way up to 660, 0.61 actually. So once that is formed, so we might actually come to the trend line, break right through it, then also break this resistance. Once both of these are broken, the trend line and the resistance, then we could probably even be seeing ourselves coming to 0.65 for the next coming weeks and probably just changing the overall trend on Canadian Swiss. Since we do have some Canadian news coming out next week, like for the whole week, we have some Canadian related news. So that's that on Canadian Swiss. Let's look now at dollar yen. So dollar yen, we broke through the trend line, then we came right back through it. But there are many factors here. That's why I always say that not only the trend line needs to be broken, but also resistance. So we didn't really close right above this resistance level. We just touched it. And we reversed from it. Then we came all the way down. So that literally signaled to us to that this movement was not holding. So for now, this slope down was really strong. So there should be a pullback this coming week. So this coming week, I do think we might actually fill up 50% of this pullback, if not the whole lot of it. So on dollar yen, we might actually be coming to 4,500 right there. That's where we might be coming up to. Then maybe reversing from that level, then coming all the way down. If not, then we might just shoot all the way up, break this trend line, then also break resistance finally, and then maybe change the trend for the rest of the following months. Then let's look at pound yen. Pound yen is always a funny story. It always leads on, but then sometimes disappoints. But maybe this time things may be different. The trend line is broken. The resistance, not really. Wouldn't really call this resistance. The resistance is literally up here, above 190 there. So that's where our resistance is. So once that is broken, then maybe we can be interested in looking to go long on pound yen. But for now, we're just still holding right here. But for next week, I do think we might make a new high. So that's what we can watch out for. And then I believe we've covered all the other forex pairs. So now let's move on to the juicy stuff, which is gold. Or rather, it's not juicy, the metal stuff. Yeah, which is gold. So gold has been super parabolic. They say this has been the best week on gold since 2023. Yes, that's true. Gold has been going up parabolically, no sign of stopping. So we have literally been making new highs, and this has been a new high just now. But what is in store for next week? Well, next week, I do think we might actually have a pullback. It could be 10%, could be 5%. I'm not too sure, but there are areas we may come down to. First area could be 3150. This could be an ideal area we can come down to, then bounce from here, then go all the way up. Another area that we can come down to is all the way here. So here at 2950 is another area that we can touch again. So those are the two areas we might touch next week. Though one seems more likely, like you can literally push slightly down, probably even to 30.70, then continue all the way up. But I don't think we might push further down beyond this point, but rather we might bounce from there and then continue all the way up to make newer highs. Gold, where do I think gold might be going? Well, the prediction of 3178 has already been fulfilled. So where can we be going up to next? Could 4,000 on gold be possible? Maybe, just maybe. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, but 4,000 on gold is ideally possible at this point in time. One thing you have to know about the markets, the higher they keep on going, the more moves they'll actually make compared, like there'll be more volatility. So if it goes to 4,000, you might actually start seeing gold start making thousands of moves and hundreds of moves every single day, as compared to what it used to do, only making like $50 moves in a day, $20 moves. Now it's going to make like $100 moves, then $200, then thousands of moves. Then 1,000 will literally be nothing when it comes to gold. So we could reach that volatility and even probably reach 10,000 on gold. Anything is possible at this point in time, especially with the instability of the market. And now let's move over to NAS 100. So NAS 100, we've broken the trend line, which is great. Resistance is also broken, but this wasn't like a new low type of resistance. The resistance level, which I can say which was there, is somewhere here, which is broken as well. So still a confirmation. Next week we might be actually be reversing, going to the upside. And I do think we might be coming to 22,000 here, right here. 22,000 is the level I do believe we might be coming up to with a NAS 100. So next week we might be actually making new highs, but not so much movement, or it might be subtle. So we might not be making those crazy moves like we were making last week, but they might be movement, but very, very slow movement, even probably till the end of the month. Then let's look at US 30 as well. US 30, same scenario. I'm not even sure if we're supposed to even be looking at US 30 because this is just literally the same scenario, but the difference is there wasn't any resistance. The resistance is all the way up here. So US 30 is also telling another story. It's telling us that this is not yet over, while NAS 100 is telling us that this could be over. So who do we listen to? Well, like the situation we had with Bitcoin and the other cryptos. Well, Bitcoin actually started moving back up, even though it did not finish its ideal move. So maybe NAS 100 might actually be correct at this point. We'll go with that. We're still bullish on the indices. That is my long short answer. Then let's look at now crypto. Let's start with Ethereum. So Ethereum, it seems like we'll now start consolidating. It looks like we're already forming a consolidation right here. So we might be bouncing from 1,700 all the way to 1,500. So those are the two levels we might actually be touching this coming week. We might not actually be doing much on this ends of the crypto spectrum. But with Bitcoin, we have been bouncing off this level. We managed to pull through it, and we might actually be going back up. We might be consolidating, so to say, as well on Bitcoin, like a large consolidation. So next week, we might actually be touching 87,000, then bouncing from there, then coming all the way down to 70,000. So those are the what I'm actually anticipating for the week. And this brings us to the end of our analysis, unless y'all have any other pairs you'd like us to look at. Andrea, you can come out from hiding now.
Hola. Buenos
Hola.
dias.
Muy bien.
Okay. All right. Do we have any other pairs that you guys want to look at today? We have gone through gold. We have gone through. Okay, so Romar from Cincinnati would like us to take a look at the Aussie dollar.
Okay, let's look at it. One thing I remember last week, was it Wednesday? I'm not too sure. We're looking at Aussie dollar making like a crazy move to the downside. Okay, I wouldn't really say Aussie dollar is making the same moves as Euro dollar, because this is very much inverse to Euro dollar. Like, Aussie dollar made crazy moves to the downside, and then it started reversing back up. I am not sure if this is attributed to the fact that Aussie has some connection or peg to metals and a bit to oil. So yeah, it could be that, and stability. So already Aussie dollar is recovering, which is a good sign, which could be that it was following suit with gold. So the fact that gold started moving up, Aussie dollar started moving up as well, because that value of it started going up. So it helped strengthen the currency. But one thing you need to know about currencies, they are heavily manipulated. And there are also other factors you need to consider, not just the fact that it's pegged to gold and everything like that, or if there's weakness with the dollar or not. Yeah, so there's all that. So for now, I would say Aussie dollar is looking to make new highs, probably above 64, 0.64. That's where we might reach coming next week. But obviously, this was a great reversal at this point. Like at this right now, wouldn't say that Aussie dollar wants to come to the downside, but rather it wants to recover all those losses that were lost during that crash to the downside. So that is my outlook on Aussie dollar. And then ZZ Idris wants us to look at Aussie yen. So, okay, Aussie yen, I would say it's in the same outlook as dollar yen, like all the other yen pairs. But let's have a look at it. So, yeah, it's pretty much the same, where the trend line seems to be broken, because as we looked at pound yen, the trend line was broken. Also, I believe dollar yen was broken. So Aussie yen is broken as well, though it followed the same suit with Aussie dollar. But Aussie yen has been dropping for quite a while. If we take a look at this chart, like long-term outlook, this is like 2024. Ever since that drop that happened on all yen pairs to the downside, this has been happening also on Aussie yen. So this is just yen being in control, not even like the Aussie dollar or anything else. Yen, when yen wants to go down or strengthen rather, it will do what it needs to do. Then if it needs to weaken, it will weaken across the whole board. Like yen is really strong for like that. So yeah, it's not unlike Aussie dollar and the like. Yen does whatever it wants, and the correlation between all of them is massive. So if you see dollar yen dropping. Of course, also Aussie yen will do the same thing. Of course, pound yen will do the same thing. Like at the end of the day, even if they might move slightly different, they always go one direction. Yeah, that's what I've noticed with yen related pairs. So with Aussie yen, I would say it's a great long opportunity right now. We made a new low, we broke the trend line, we broke resistance. So we might actually be coming to 9.5 on Aussie yen. Yeah. All right. Rhea, you can come out.
I'm here. I'm here. All right, guys. Well, I think that just about wraps up our weekly analysis for today. If you guys haven't noticed, there is a little itty bitty banner scrolling at the bottom of the screen, just reminding you all that we have our promotion going on right now. It does end tomorrow, so definitely take advantage of that. You can get a 25K account with an 80% profit split and a 5% daily drawdown for $89 if you use the code 25K89. Likewise, you can also get a 200K instantly funded account with an 80% profit split and a 5% daily drawdown for $699. And I think the code for that is, wait a second, I needed to scroll across the screen. 200K 699. There you go. So if you guys are looking to scale your capital, be sure to take advantage of that before that promotion ends tomorrow. Nick, do you have anything else that you want to say?
No, have a great trading week and always make sure that you watch the volatility. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a pretty volatile lately. So definitely make sure that you manage your risk properly when entering the markets. All right, everybody. Well, have a great day, afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world. We appreciate you guys for coming and tuning in with us. It's always boring when we're talking to crickets. So thank you for coming and being present with us. And yeah, have a great trading week, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. And maybe some of you guys will join us for our live tomorrow afternoon for the podcast. But other than that, for the analysis, we will be back midweek on Wednesday. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.